He says that he is now tired. Therefore, he tells everyone to attack it together. At that moment, a stumbling man pushes the crowd and moves forward. He goes straight up to Ha Jinyoung and stands there. Yes, even some people like Ha Jinyoung don't understand it. He asks that man, "What is happening?" And that man was no one else but Bikisu. He clearly says, "I need an organization to take revenge on him. I cannot do this alone. So give me T-Sen." Yes, it is Ha Jinyoung. Ran remains. He does not understand what give T-Sen means. But Chairman Kim T-Hwan gets angry when they are ignored. He advances to attack. He advances, holding up his knife and asks, "What game are you people playing? This is not just your business." But as the narrator says, "If you cause any trouble, you'll get a punch." And Bikisu delivers a powerful punch to Chairman Kim T-Hwan's face without uttering a word. Punch crushes Kim T-Hwan's nose. He wants to turn around and curse that dog. But as soon as he sees Bikisu's face, he has to keep his mouth shut because he thinks this is Baek Do-kyung. Chairman Kim's men start making a fuss because he had heard that Baek Do-kyung is not here. They are in hiding. Has Baek Do-kyung returned? Yes, Jinyoung is also slightly surprised because he believed that no one could take over from the director. Now Chairman Kim had been surrounded. Therefore, he acts carelessly. That strength lies in numbers, and he pushes his men forward. But all his men lose their courage. The narrator says, every blow from Bikisu was a deadly blow. Defeating 10 people alone terrifies the rest. Do they have no courage to act carelessly? Upon seeing this, Kim T-Hwan clenches his teeth and gives an order. Let's end the T-Sen Association today together. Bikisu moves forward like a malevolent spirit. The narrator asks a question. Isn't he using them like a punching bag because those people kept attacking? Kim T-Hwan, realizing that this is not working, he shouts at his men in panic. Quick, pull out the knife, fools are monsters. So we must kill him today. He takes out his own knife and attacks Bikisu. He mistakenly believes him to be Baek Do-kyung. No matter how powerful someone is, a knife can still pierce the skin. But his enemies seem to have eyes even behind his head, and he easily knocks the knife away. The knife falls to the ground. A streak of blood begins to flow across Kim T-Hwan's face. The narrator says, to be more precise, he had just about lost his life. This is the T-Sen Association backshop. No one can touch it. Therefore, Kim wisely orders his men to retreat and return to Banville. The members of the T-Sen Association are overjoyed upon seeing their director Baek Do-kyung return. Only Ha Jinyoung understands that the T-Sen Association cannot exist without Baek Do-kyung. He thought exactly that, but Bikisu was completely different. Therefore, Ha Jinyoung opens his mouth and asks Bikisu whether he wants tension. If you want T-Sen, there's only one way. That same evening, a meeting takes place among the largest gangs. Baek Do-kyung hadn't been seen for a month. The amber-colored man curses while smoking a cigarette. The headquarters was bustling. They told us to get rid of that bully. A woman says, but it seems interesting. Why did Bikisu log out? Logging out means death. If this is true, then T-Sen will be ruined. T-Sen is an organization of the sorrowful. If you want T-Sen, then there is only one way. Yes, the narrator says in Jin Young's voice. If you want T-Sen, there's only one way. He explains further, there cannot be two tigers on one mountain. And Bikisu cannot directly take over T-Sen. To be more accurate, he would have to become a backdoor operative. The scene changes. Bikisu is sitting in a room where the major gang leaders of Seoul are present. He has assumed the form of his brother Baek Do-kyung. Same tattoo, same style. He looks at the four of them with a half eye and teases them in his brother's style. He says, I was very worried about you all. Right, I should have brought some gifts. The story goes into a flashback. Before this, there was a special training session on bike training. His trainer's secretary was Suwa. Suwa was teaching him a special knife handling technique. She shows him how to place his finger behind the blade. Doing this will give the knife more strength. Isu does not understand why anyone would pay attention to such minute details. But Suwa gives a stern warning. So you will have to be even more careful, the narrator says. At the bosses of Seoul's most notorious crime gangs meet with the board of directors. The purpose was to stop conflicts between gangs and promote cooperation. But in reality, they were all waiting for an opportunity for their own benefit. They were waiting for a clash. They shake hands from the front, but they keep a knife ready behind. The flashback continues. Suwa appears troubled with Lee Sun-min. Lee Sun-min himself doesn't know if this is the right decision. Or not. After all, why do they have to protect the Tisen Association? Then Biki Su reveals his true purpose. He says, I need the Tisen Association, a gang that lets me take revenge and become bigger than the other gang. Therefore, I need Tisen and the board of directors to fulfill my wish. The scene changes. We are at that old construction site, where Biki Su and his team worked. This place is now desolate. Here is Section Chief Jang, and a new powerful figure is present. Your skill talent is really commendable. Chief Jang says modestly. All this happened with your help, sir. The police chief says happily. So all those people are buried here, right? This is a wonderful sacrifice for the future. He claps with enthusiasm. He says, very good. You are a special person that I like. This is exactly what they often say. Right? Do dirty work for a bright future. Chief Jang looks troubled. He says that he is having difficulty understanding the mood of the North people. Upon hearing this, the police chief's face changes. He angrily says to Chief Jang, but Chief Jang, why are you trying to make me angry like this? Is it so difficult to deal with those insects? Why are you creating so many problems for me? He shouts angrily. Do you know how many resources I am wasting to deal with this matter? And he grabs Chief Jang's collar in anger. The police chief Choi Hwan Ho was shouting in anger. He had grabbed Section Chief Jang's collar. The police chief shouts, do you know how many resources am I wasting trying to deal with your mess? Chief Jang tries to apologize, but the police chief keeps shouting at him and spits on his face. He says, forgive me, Tisen Association, and to eliminate those gang sufferers. He reminds Chief Jang, don't you know how influential Tisen is? And what else do you know? What does this mean? Chief Jang tries to flatter him. That's why we asked you, sir, because all the power is with you. Hearing this, the police chief's anger increases further. He can no longer tolerate it. He pushes Chief Jang and throws him far away. Now the police chief, Choi Hwan Ho, shows his true form. He shows a special ring on his finger and says, you should know who the boss is here. In this game, your role is only that of a police chief. We need a leader, not a puppet. To emphasize his point, he throws a cherry blossom badge into that communal cemetery. He threatens Chief Jang. There are countless people to take your place. Then, if you don't like your character, disappear. At this moment, a man with a fresh scar mark steps forward, and Chief Jang grabs the collar. He glares angrily, and he threatens, this man is very rude. Isn't it? Is the police chief your friend? The rude police chief oddly takes cold breaths. He is irritated that Chief Jang had the audacity to throw his badge. When he was about to display his strength, and Chief Jang ordered him to pick up the badge, the situation completely turned around. Strength is still just a hollow shell. Chief Jang suddenly delivers a powerful kick, which lands directly on the police chief's face. His refusal to fight does not mean he is a soft target, which can be easily squeezed. The police chief is stunned. He remains speechless. And now a gun is raised at him but stops. Chief Jang grabs his hand. He threatens the police chief. Drop that attitude, you fat man. Should I bury you with him? In the end, the police chief has to witness it. He starts shouting in panic and takes all the blame upon himself. He says, I will take care of those matters. I know the people on the board of directors. Chief Jang shouts in anger. Sir, I have buried my own men alive. Then why should I care about that headquarters? Finally, Chief Jang lowers his gun and gives an order. The police chief, without touching Yisu's hands and feet, carries out the task. He says this to the police chief. He also looks toward the mass grave, where his own men were buried, and he asks the police chief, I want to see the back dock. The scene changes, and we return to the board of directors meeting. It is taking place in a luxurious Chinese restaurant. A new person, resort director Ryu Tion, who is also the boss of the headquarters of Jeju Jongsan, makes fun of the board. He says Bag Duking is dead. And what else is left to say? He says, I told you he isn't worthy of sitting here. Another new person, Hassan, who is the boss of the Gangnam area, is the director of HHS Entertainment. He is saying that he is on a business trip. Whenever the topic of bag thefts comes up, why does everyone get so upset? Hearing this, Rai Hyung-kal gets angry. He attacks Hassan. This is not just me. A crazy dog without any identity is occupying a crucial area like Daelong. He or she should log out soon. The only female member of the board smiles. The only female board member, Ju Hoa, hears someone uttering curses and blessings while discussing routine back dues. Then she becomes extremely happy. It seems so. as if she also wants to stab them. The narrator says she must certainly hate bag duking very much. This particular woman is introduced here. Ju Hoa is the owner of Chinyang Trading Company and head of Guri County. Upon hearing this, Ryu Tiyong goes mad. He shouts, "This woman is driving me crazy. She's trying to make me look bad." When the commotion peaked, Burrit, who has a scar on his forehead, calmly told them to stop. He says, "The reason for our meeting today is to resolve the tension among everyone." Now, the new person is introduced. Lee Sun-min is the CEO of Ilhak and the boss of the Chogno area. In other words, Choi Chan-ho, the boss of the Nine Swords, hates this Chinese man. He extinguishes his cigarette. He challenges Lee Sun-min by saying, "Lee Sun-min, if you keep behaving like this, I will become uncomfortable with you. You are not worthy of sitting here in your current position. You think that you are only worthy of sitting here by controlling a small ward." Lee Sun-min speaks calmly about the establishment of the General Assembly. He says that its establishment was done by the first chairman of Ilhak. At that moment, Hasan interrupts and tells Lee Sun-min. He tells him to quickly grab the soy sauce because it is far away. Lee Sun-min awkwardly gives soy sauce to Hasan. And Ryu, while insulting him, calls him a coward. He says, "Well, whatever. As long as we let you stay here. Show a little respect." Then an unfamiliar man enters. He was human. Ryu doesn't know who he is. He thinks, why does this look like a nightclub host? He ignores Schumann and turns around and respectfully says to the person standing behind him, "We have come." In this tense atmosphere, Schumann was sure this was the place. Then Baek Dukhyung, who was actually Baek Yisu. He enters peacefully and in an impressive manner, while Sean was paving a path for him. The entire group experiences the same feeling. It is Rand speechless. The story went into the car a few minutes ago. Baek Yisu was receiving information about the members of the General Assembly. Sua reminds him. She says that the most important thing is their connections. She says it also includes evidence. She says that this evidence must be gathered through good relationships. Baek Yisu is absolutely certain. He says that he will also find their weaknesses. We just have to handle this case in the same way, just like Baek Dukhyung, so that we can find out how to handle it. Story returns to the restaurant. Ju Hoa now becomes extremely happy upon seeing the black duck. She says, "Is this really the same?" She even cut her hair. "I didn't even recognize him." Baek Yisu pulls a chair and tells him, "I was trying to make an impression, and you didn't even recognize me." Rai Hyungkal was still upset. He says, "I thought you died. Either it was hard to intoxicate you, or someone had stabbed you. It was very bad. I thought my turn wouldn't come." Baek Dukhyung answers in the style of Ha Jin-young. "Are you not using chopsticks?" Baek Yisu, who had disguised himself as his brother Baek Dukhyung. He teases Ryo Taeyeon. Hasan says, "Aren't you using chopsticks? If you eat like a dog and now won't use a knife, may I take it?" Hearing this, Hasan goes mad with anger. He feels that he is being mocked. Hasan then speaks in the middle. He reminds everyone about the bike shop. "Mr. Dukhyung, when you were out, we had a conversation." Lee Shan calmly puts his chopsticks down. And he says, "You must have worried about me. I should have brought some gifts." He brings up the simple matter. He says, "We heard that your younger brother has passed away. It must have been difficult. You didn't even contact us, even though that usually doesn't happen." Hearing this makes me feel a rush. He says the funeral was quite strange. "I even heard that there was a shooting there." Here, Hasan provides the summary of the entire matter. He puts his glass down and says, "The summary is that this whole debate is about this. So is Baek Dukhyung worthy of sitting here? Or not?" Then Baek Yisu suddenly gets up. He asks a strange question. "If you know that someone is in trouble, why don't you help them?" And then he says, "Anyway, whatever, here's the answer." He picks up a big knife lying on the table, and he forcefully slams him onto the table. He scolds the entire group and shows them their place. He asks in anger, "Who are you talking to about the eligibility of the Tisan Association? You think that the General Assembly has this authority?" Hearing this, Hasan finally discards his false humble appearance. His face turns red with anger and he says, "How can we accept these words? Are you trying to make us your enemies?" After a lot of discussion, Baek Dukhyung makes a decision. He clearly announces, "I will say it clearly, so listen carefully. This is everything. What the Tisan Association wants. The Tisan Association can no longer be part of the General Assembly. You can do whatever you want." After this clear declaration, he sits in the car and returns to Tisan. The atmosphere in the car becomes extremely tense. Yes, Ha Jinyoung asks. Is the General Assembly now T-Sun's enemy? Do you have any plan? Baek Yi-soo stays calm and keeps watching the city. Then their vehicle is intercepted. Yes, Ha Jinyoung immediately grips the steering wheel firmly. Their car turns 180 degrees. He opens the car window in anger. And he shouts, who was it? But their car was now surrounded by 3 other cars. At this very moment, someone steps out of one of their cars. This was a familiar face. None other than Ryu Taeyeon from the T-Sun Association. It was. He had come here to settle accounts because Bank Dukang had caused trouble in the meeting. He wears something like brass knuckles on his hands. He says, so I will take the words of the Bank Dukang. I will do what I want. Lee Sun-min doesn't object at all. Ryu breaks the car's window with a powerful punch so that he can show his strength. Lee Sean and Ha Jinyoung were scared stiff and couldn't even breathe. Ryu grabs Lee Sun-min's hair, and he says with a devilish smile on his face, let me become the leader of the T-Sun Association. Hearing this, Sean is overcome with fear. Baek Yi-soo, Ha Jinyoung, and Sean are seated in the car. It happens slowly, and calls Lee Sun-min director, while he was about to call him captain. But before that, he was extremely restless. He was turning repeatedly. He was asking whether the rear view mirror would move. His childish behavior makes him uncomfortable and tells him to sit quietly because he is obstructing the driving. Now let's get to the main point. Now that the T-Sun Association has withdrawn its name from the General Assembly, he says it to himself, I will bring them all under my feet. But before that, we have a more important task to do. And that is the important task, catching the rat inside the General Assembly. Xiumin becomes curious upon hearing this and asks, who is the rat in the General Assembly? Yes, Ha Jinyoung is the raider. He wonders why he would have thought such a thing. He remembers. The clues obtained from your place indicate this, that there was a chaotic ceremony and bloodshed there. Yes, the young who believe. If it were the director's ceremony, he would certainly have informed the General Assembly of this. He says this is not a special matter, but he goes on to explain. But the tainted blood in T-Sun has nothing to do with that funeral. The one you reported about means. These were 2 separate incidents, and the false funeral of Lee Sun-min was used to cover up another atrocity. As soon as he hears this, Xiumin understands everything. Xiumin is unable to speak anything. He just laughs. This made my hair stand on end. I don't understand anything. Upon hearing this, Ha Jinyoung tightens his grip on the steering wheel, trying to control his anger. He realizes it. That Baek Yi-soo already knew all this within the T-Sun Association, the narrator says. This was the reason Baek Yi-soo kept avoiding going to the T-Sun Association before finding that mouse. And now he will probably have to directly search for him because we've messed up the mouse's nest. Baek Yi-soo knew that when he announced his resignation from the T-Sun Association, the mouse would panic. He will crawl out on his own like this, and exactly that happened. We return to the present, where Ryu Taeyeon is standing in front of their car. The narrator says Ha Jinyoung does not know that it is a rat, and he thinks he is a chicken. Therefore, he tells Sean to get out of the car. Or do I have to drag your precious body out to get you to obey orders? The voiceover here reveals the identity of that mouse. Ryu Taeyeon and Choi Chan-ho have always had the most fights, and there is a clear enmity between them. This man is probably that mouse. When Ryu Taeyeon was trying to pull the car's owner out like a madman, he clearly shows his hatred. And he shouts at him, this car is very expensive, remove your hand. Where have you left your basic manners? Did you feed him to the dogs? Upon hearing this, he recognizes that man. It was the same babbling man we had met before. He asks Ha Jinyoung what he just said. Sean gets out of the car and says, what are you going to do? Today I'm driving this car for the first time, so I'm in a very good mood. Ryu Taeyeon thinks that this is worth being beat. He asks Sean, apart from the back document, do you want to work for me? I really like you. Sean uses this opportunity to make fun of him. Make me your superior, sounds good. Let's go to the repair shop first. Ryu Taeyeon is a muscular man. Therefore, he uses his strength to deliver a direct punch. But he forgets that he is picking a fight with the wrong person. And he sneers at him with a sideways glance and throws a jab. Look at your habits, are you a thug? Instead of getting angry, he becomes even more excited when he sees this, because Sean had stopped his attack. He was quite pleased with this talkative man. At that moment, another group of cars comes from behind. It seems like he was preparing to have a party here. But suddenly, a new person comes forward. This is the owner of 9 swords, Lee Sun-min. He tells Ryu Tae-yeon to stop as he arrives. Ryu Tae-yeon mocks Lee Sun-min. He teases him by calling him young master, and he says that he will accept his terms. But then he taunts him. We are preparing to hold a party here. Do you also want to participate? I don't know, that person doesn't have such capability. Or not. At that moment, a hand suddenly appears on Ryu Tae-yeon's shoulder and stops him. You just talk a lot, I remember. Some time ago you were crying because of the scar on your back. You have recently become quite big. This man knew that person. It was Choi Chan-ho, who was from the 9 Swords. But what was this old man doing here? He asks Sean and Ha-jin Young inside the car. Who is this uncle in the white suit? The narrator says mockingly that these two are making a long drama. Then the narrator introduces that old man. He is a traitor, it's a note. Kang Young-chan is from the elite team. His arrival here is significant. It was about the queen. Sean doesn't understand anything. Ha-jin Young starts to understand. He says that the note is not recent. Kang's dignity has dropped significantly. But in old times, it was the largest organization of the soul. At that time, their most special team had 9 people known as Kyudo. Sean finds it quite enjoyable to listen to this history. Stories related to Gangster Uncle are always top. But judging by everyone's facial expressions, it was clear that this was no ordinary matter. This old man is Choi Chan-ho. He was the leader of the Kyudo group. He was the head and also the CEO. He thinks when he sees these children that they have no ambition. And the one who is becoming a hero until now becomes cautious. He knew that it was not. He has come here. This matter is no longer between him and the Tisen Association. Amid this tension, yes, the young one gets out of the car and salutes his senior. He says, "It's been a long time, senior." Ryu Tae-yeon remains here. Choi Chan-ho warmly welcomes his junior, Ha-jin Young. It is discovered that there is a senior-junior relationship between them. Then Lee Sun-min moves forward, and he asks Rai Hyung-kal for his opinion. We do not consider Tisen as a guest. Want to invite Kang Young-chan. Do you have any objection? This is less a proposal, more an order. Rai did not have the courage to raise any objection. Now the matter was in their hands. Seeing all this, Sean starts laughing. He laughs about this. That muscular man who was showing so much arrogance a while ago. Now he is being dragged into a car like a puppy. Now Lee Sun-min is approaching him towards Lee Sang-ha, and he invites him to come to his car. Lee Sang-ha can't understand what Lee Sun-min is thinking in the end. But he pretends, as if he doesn't know anything. He gets into the car. He will pretend to be a queen. At the same time, the elder tells Choi Chan-ho, along with Ha-jin Young and Sean, to come with him. He says that he needs to talk to his old friend about something. But Ha-jin Young objects. He says that he has to leave with his director. That's when Lee Sun-min stops him and says everything is okay. He jokes and says, "That car is too small for you to enter." Hearing this makes Sean feel bad. The director's words had hurt him. He says it to himself. "I'm also grown up, you know." Now in the car were Lee Sun-min, Ha-jin Young, and Sean. Lee Sun-min asks about the truth of Tisen's withdrawal from the General Assembly. He says withdrawing does not mean surrendering. Is it? No. He avoids talking about qualifications. And he says this was just a decision made in anger. Lee Sang-ha warns him. If he leaves the General Assembly like this, other organizations will harshly criticize him. Ha-jin Young acknowledges this and agrees. That today he was also unintentionally attacked. He says jokingly that he might have to ask for money for the repair. But he still didn't know what Lee Sun-min actually wanted to say. Upon hearing this, Lee Sun-min gets angry. He starts giving a lecture that the General Assembly is a place of restraint and competition among organizations. You must have strength to survive. Finally, he directly asks, what exactly does Lee Sun-min want to say? At that moment, their car arrives in a parking lot. Lee Sean tells the director to back off instead of opening the door. Now you need strength. Very seriously, it was a clear signal. Then someone knocks on the car door from outside. It was to greet them. Biki Su secretly thinks. It's really difficult to live peacefully in his brother's world. Scene returns to Ha-jin Young. The old man was grinning while giving false praise to that child, saying that it was actually better to stab them in the back. Then he carefully reminds Ha-jin Young that he hasn't come. Then he turns back, but Ha-jin Young stops him and says if that's the case, then don't say anything else. I am currently a member of the Tisan Association. Upon hearing this, Choi Chan-ho says so. You also have a relationship with Kang Young-chan. Your place is still there. But Ha Jin-young repeats his loyalty once again. I am a member of the Tisan Association. In addition, I have a job here. Ha Jin-young has clearly said about Choi Hwan-ho. He is now a member of the Tisan Association. And he has a job here. Choi Chan-ho realizes it. Ha Jin-young is very stubborn. And there is nothing left for him to do here now. The scene changes, we watch. Lee Sun-min and Baek-Yisu are standing face to face. They have a serious expression on their faces. Voiceover says, today Tisan will be destroyed. Everything is over now. It was clear that their intention was to take Tisan's head. It was like a hangman's banquet, a feast that is given in the name of friendship. But its real purpose is to actually kill the guest. This feast had not yet ended. Baek-Yisu acts with panic, and he tells the representative, Lee Sun-min, that all of this is beyond imagination. But Lee Sun-min tells him. Finally, Baek-Yisu takes a long breath with exhaustion. He covers his face with his hands, as if he is tired. But in the next moment, his eyes open. He had understood everything. Only one thing echoes in his mind. Found it, it's you, right? Gu-chan, the ninth blade, had finally found that traitor. Baek-Yisu sees Sean in the rear view mirror and gives him an order, catch Lee Sun-min. Upon hearing this, the car driver is startled. And in anger, he thinks, how arrogant this man is. But Sean was not joking. He immediately delivered a powerful punch to the driver's face while following his captain's orders. The driver loses consciousness right there. He rebukes him. This little kid is making a lot of noise. Stay here quietly for a while. He will stay in the car to keep an eye on Lee Sun-min now. Baek-Yisu will not waste his time. Scene returns to Ryu Tion. He was smoking a cigarette in anger. He was extremely angry that the dog had snatched Baek-Yisu right in front of him. In his anger, he also brought a Kudon with him. His driver doesn't understand anything and asks a question. Ryu explains how powerful the Kudons are. He has used this opportunity to involve more people. The driver asks again whether they are good at fighting. Upon hearing this question, Ryu loses his temper. He starts beating his driver and shouts. He really knows nothing, yet he talks so much. There was no note before. How did the Kudon take over the entire soul? He tells him the story of the 9 swords, called the Waste One. A flashback occurs where blood-soaked white suits are shown. Ryu says that what he saw with his own eyes at that time was not what he expected. Only 3 Kudons devastated the entire organization in the Humba area. The voiceover says that there were 9 people originally. 6 adults remain. As long as the 3 are together, every case will be easily resolved. Then who is the man who would dare to fight the Kudons? And if he destroys them, he will swallow the entire soul. The scene changes and we see Police Chief Choi Hwan-ho and Lee Sun-min are fishing somewhere. This was the place where the political leader and the police chief often met. They used it for important and secret meetings. The police chief was enlightening Lee Sun-min. I'm telling you this because I'm being kind. He's not the same as before, is he? Due to the incoming project, he then reveals it. Baek Du-kyung lost his younger brother. Tisan became involved in that case. That is why everything went that way. Therefore, it is not the case now. Kang Young-chan will have to take the first step. Lee Sun-min was still hesitating because he did not yet have a legitimate reason to start a war. A serious conversation is taking place between Police Chief Choi Hwan-ho and Lee Sun-min. Lee Sun-min was still hesitating to start a war against Tisan because he did not have any legitimate reason. The police chief continues to exert pressure on him. He reminds him, if you keep hesitating this way, everything will be taken from you. He pours salt on Lee Sun-min's wound, and he questions his leadership. You are too cautious. You always keep avoiding things in this way. That is why it's not. Kang Young-chan is in this condition today. He says while comparing him to his old leader. If the former chairman were alive, he would have started fighting long ago. He makes Lee Sun-min greedy. If the General Assembly is taken down, no one will have the courage to say anything. We have the best knife. Why should we retreat like this? Finally, he reveals his real intention. Eventually, the police chief's scheme works. Lee Sun-min gets swayed by the old man's words, and he agrees to ruin Tisan. The police chief takes a drag on his cigarette and starts to lay the bait. He is happy that his plan succeeded. But Lee Sun-min had a condition. He says not. Allow Kang Young-chan to participate in this project. Upon hearing this, the police chief laughs at him. He shows him his place. You should know your own place. I have just given you a little praise. Don't misunderstand, he clarifies. Even though he is part of this system. But it is not, he cannot sit on par with them, the scene changes. Now we are in the arena that does not exist. Kay had prepared for Lee Sunmin. Their plan was to trap Lee Sunmin here and deal with him. A man steps forward. Before he can say the disrespectful words according to the script, Baek Yi-soo slaps him hard. The slap was so forceful that the man flew into the air and fell far away. In the next moment, Baek Yi-soo attacks him and doesn't even give him a chance to catch his breath. He shouts at him, "You thought you could destroy T-sun because I was away. Now not." The remaining members of K come forward. They knew who was inciting this case. It was their own plan, but they made a wrong decision. Baek Yi-soo says, "I will find you, but not today." Lee Sunmin tries to get out of the car in a panic, but he stops with a knife. He had forgotten that someone else is also sitting in the car. He smirks, winking as he twirls a knife in his hand. He says, "Don't forget, I have been given the job of keeping an eye on you." Lee Sunmin is angry, but he cannot do anything. Meanwhile, the man who was previously killed still clings to his pride. He mutters that if the director were 10 years older, perhaps he would have a chance. Upon hearing this, Kay is startled. Another member of the group laughs. He thinks that his companion is angry for this reason, because it was her first time being hit. At that moment, Kang Young-chan moves forward. He makes the children uncomfortable. He says, "Your brother just got beaten. Will you all just stand there and watch?" As soon as he finishes speaking, the man disappears. He leaps into the air and attacks the director's bag. His punch is fast, powerful, and clearly lethal. But Baek Yi-soo stops the fight. Another man steps forward to strike his head. Another man, known as the fearsome sword of Kyudo, steps forward. He is known by the name K. He throws Lee Sunmin onto the ground. But before Lee Sunmin can breathe, a shoe flies through the air. The crowd is extremely angry that the boy with the smell of milk dared to say this. If K fails, it will be ruined. The narrator says his elimination is certain. But fortunately, Baek Yi-soo knows how to stop the attacks. Therefore, he does not get injured much. He uses his hands to block powerful attacks. A leaping member, Q-Dao, wants to seize this opportunity and finish him off with a single strike. But Baek Yi-soo successfully keeps his distance from them. The narrator talks about their strength. Each one of them is extremely strong, and they are also extremely skilled at coordinating attacks among themselves. These people form a closed square formation. It is almost impossible to break. But Baek Yi-soo knows their weakness and thinks, "Just attack from a corner and defeat one man, and the entire encirclement will break." His target was the same man he had killed before. But fortunately, his brother stops him. His brother is dazed and cannot say anything. Then another leaping member, having helped his brother, immediately rushes to attack T-sun's boss. He claims that T-sun will be destroyed today. Suddenly, Baek Yi-soo's neck is seized. Two Kyudo members, Delucto and Detujuo, launch an attack together. Two hold one against each other, and one attacks. Inside the car, Lee Shan becomes uncomfortable upon seeing this, because those people were playing dirty tricks. But Lee Sunmin is extremely arrogant towards the kid. Kang's knife speaks, everyone listens. That is a knot of old times. Kang has now ended. But there is one thing that everyone has forgotten. Yes, the young person that the man had dealt with, whom he calls his senior. He announces that their relationship ends here. No, Kang still has trash. Seeing all this, Lee Shan says to Ananaman that she should not go anywhere and sit here quietly. But Lee Sunmin thinks that both of them will not be able to stand before the jump, so whatever they do will be of no use. SH thinks that he heard it incorrectly. Therefore, he asks again, "Whom should we help?" SH says, laughing, "Actually, you all don't even know that you have to deal with them." He knew that if he didn't go, the uncle standing outside would be killed. Suddenly, he watches the match from outside. The back man was still taking hits. Kang still had the courage to challenge T-sun. The others were also moving forward. But Lee Shan is the first to run out. He successfully stops two people. Those people are looking at this stylish boy standing in front of them. It seems like he also wants to try. A pain starts in the old wound. But for him, at least it was better than seeing the elderly people die. Because the opponent they faced was not human. Lee Shan's opponent is a monster. Even the full 9 swords could not understand his actions. He was babbling, but now he didn't expect that his pair would go down. Then their senior shouts at them to stop. But it was already too late. Hyun Bao was already ready. Rai Hyunkal is the most dangerous man in this world. Rai Hyunkal has defeated Kang's warriors. Here the narrator tells us why Rai Hyunkal is ultimately so dangerous. In the flashback, we're shown a terrifying training session. A soldier is being hung upside down on the wall, and his body is being badly pulled. The narrator says that Yisu was trained very strictly by a training officer, even though that officer praised not only his strength, but also his beautiful body. He had no shortcomings, whether it's a fight or life. He is not that kind of person who retreats when injured. Such people are only rarely found in the world, who are so strong mentally and physically that they never fall. There is only one way to break such people. Give them so much pain that their soul leaves their body. We see in the flashback, the officer is giving the soldier extreme pain and is slowly laughing while repeating Baek Yisu's name. This was proof that Yisu had undergone the same or even worse training. The scene returns to the present time. The warriors of Tisen, who have probably rarely felt real pain for decades. Now they were lying on the ground, screaming. They were finally realizing who they were fighting. It is not an ordinary human, but a monster. At that moment, Sean sitting in the car remembers everything. He remembers his conversation with police chief Choi Hwan-ho. In the flashback, the police chief tells him, Baek Do-kyung has a twin brother. Therefore, Baek Do-kyung is probably a bit different from the other gangsters. The police chief says it's like a game. Block and attack, block and attack. Continuously like this, Lee Sun-min was now clearly visible to everyone. The Tisen warriors were completely defeated. Both of his arms had become paralyzed. He had to accept the humiliation he received from the underworld. Baek Yisu steps forward to deliver the final blow. But his attack is stopped. Lee Sun-min gets out of the car and comes between them. The same man who ordered the fight. Now he was telling them to stop. He places a hand on Baek Yisu's shoulder. And he says, let's talk Baek Yisu. Yes, he had called him by his real name. He had already known the truth. He understood why it was necessary to eliminate Baek Do-kyung even after Baek Yisu had been killed. Lee Sun-min believes he is a twin. In the meeting hall, his actions didn't at all resemble Baek Do-kyung's. Baek Yisu jabs his hand. He asks in a cold, dangerous voice, so what difference does it make? Do you know my real identity? If you know, will you survive? Faced with this direct threat, Lee Sun-min finally surrenders. He ultimately chose civilization. He decides to talk instead of fighting. They shake hands, a temporary truce is declared. Lee Sun-min goes to such a place, where Hasan says to those old warriors, hey you two old men, let's maintain a temporary peace. Okay, Section Chief Jang says. Now a peaceful conversation is taking place. But somewhere, some boxes are filled with hidden gunpowder. It means this peace is just a pretense. Lee Sun-min has to be believed. He made the mistake of underestimating the Tisen Association. In the end, the remaining members of the group are still present. They were surprised that a single man had defeated them. They ask whether their other brothers are okay. They couldn't believe that Baek Do-kyung had defeated them all. The story ends here with a new turn, where Baek Yisu has instilled fresh fear in the hearts of his enemies. It's not, the members are still standing. He could not believe that Baek Do-kyung had beaten them all. The Nine Swords had only one thing left to say. That boy is truly a demon. They discuss among themselves, wondering what the new leader wants to talk about. In the meantime, Sean notices. The elder Choi Chan-ho, whom he calls Old Godzilla, is also present. Sean feels a bit reassured by the presence of the elder, because he knows little about the new leader. Sean was worried that the new leader might be growing weak. What if more enemies come? But Ha Jin-young assures him that, with the senior present, everything will be okay. After hearing this, Sean feels a little relief. Lee Sun-min hands a document to Baek Yisu. He says that head Ha Jin-young has received an order to eliminate the Tisen Association, and this document contains full information about that person. Who gave this order? Baek Yisu had perhaps already guessed this. Lee Sun-min directly presents his proposal. I will give this information to Tisen, but in exchange, Tisen and head Ha Jin-young will become partners. His intention was completely clear. This will hit two targets with one arrow. Lee Sun-min will become even more powerful, and Tisen will get a new assistant. But Baek Do-kyung was not a person who liked to talk. His eyes were completely cold and indifferent. He thinks silently. With the conditions of this conversation, I just need to defeat head Ha Jin-young. The documents will be in my hands. He sees Lee Sean not as a partner, but as an obstacle. Old Man then challenges him on Lee Sunmin's arrogant behavior. If you have courage, show it by acting. Jang also prevents Beak Yisu and tells him to think again. He explains, this is a good deal for both of us. We will gain head Ha Jinyoung's trust. But as soon as the matter of trust is heard, Beak Yisu's mind spins. The scene goes to a barrel of fire that depicts Beak Yisu's angry and troubled heart. He was irritated, he thinks. Whether it's head Ha Jinyoung or whoever it is, all of this is just a gang of goons. And as far as trust is concerned, was it only because the ones who think that my companion and my brother were not killed? Yes, the ones who think that Beak Yisu is going too far. At that moment, Beak Yisu grabs Ha Jinyoung's collar like a madman and orders him to tell him why he called Beak Dukayang. He was trying to fully embrace his brother's identity. Sean intervenes in the middle, and it calms both. Lee Sunmin still holds on to hope that Beak Yisu will reconsider his proposal. But Beak Yisu clearly ignores everyone and says outright, just give me that file, this is the only way, so that I can have a little trust in you people. His arrogant tone irks Lee Sangha, and he threatens Beak Yisu. He should speak carefully, he says. There is no top secret information in that file. Lee Sunmin has a smug smile on his face. He says to Beak Yisu while threatening him, there is no top secret information in that file. He also says that there is no copy of that file, that he can delete this information forever. But Beak Yisu, being stubborn, ignores his threat. He carelessly challenges him. Tricky, yes, the youths become aware that things are moving beyond the limit. He wants to stop them, but Beak Yisu didn't care about it. His inner anger explodes. He yells at the head of the Hancha group. How can I trust you scoundrels? Trust had become such a word that it only caused him pain. He remembers how his companion and his brother were killed because of trust. He says, I no longer trust anyone. Lee Sunmin now takes full control into his own hands. He threatens them. You must stay cautious and hand the file over to me, and there will be no discussion about it. He then reveals his terrifying plan. From today, you must know that I will give the orders, and you will just follow. The entire head unit must be integrated under T-Sun's orders, and then he makes the biggest move. He captures Lee Sunmin's hand. It had a knife in it, and he says, one more thing, I will take one of your people as a hostage. Before the situation gets worse, a member of the Nine Swords immediately steps forward. He snatches the knife from Lee Sunmin's hand. He asks, does he really need to go that far? Then, in an unknown corner, that man takes the director's file from Lee Sunmin. At that moment, the elder Choi Chan-ho announces like a hero, please allow me to become a substitute hostage for you. He asks King Young-chan, can he come as a hostage for T-Sun? But the backup was extremely strict. He looks at that old man with a disdainful glance and says, I have asked for the head of the organization. Can your leader be compared to his? Do you have the right to make such a proposal here? Meanwhile, Ha Jinyoung moves forward again. He tries to calm Sua. Sean becomes restless and uneasy upon seeing all this. Hassan explains to Ha Jinyoung, those 9 swords are representatives of Choi Chan-ho in the underworld. And that should be enough. But then he suddenly says it sarcastically. If this were a back duel, he wouldn't behave like this. Upon hearing this, Lee Sean's face instantly turns black. When he hears his brother's name, something pierces his heart. Then he gives an order to Sean, that they should keep an eye on every move of the Chosen One. The narrator asks why Lee Sean suddenly did that. The story goes back 5 years. Lee Sean was arrested. At that time, he was a member of HID's Special Forces, who was responsible for operations in North Korea. The reason for his arrest was to investigate his identity. When he was on an infiltration mission in the north, an investigating officer questions him about his mission, but he says that everything should be kept confidential. The investigator starts playing psychological games on him. He says, put yourself in the situation where you stepped into North Korea and became their soldier. They cannot check your information and identity. Do you mean what? He continues to explain. Due to the specific nature of the mission, your entire information has been erased. He asks him to tell about his superior agent, military unit, or any related thing. But Yisu repeats this over and over. As I said, everything should be kept confidential. In the end, he asks for a secure communication line, so that he can talk to his superior. But his demand is also rejected. Upon hearing this, the investigating officer loses his patience. And in anger, he suddenly stands up. He shouts, we absolutely do not like your operation from the North Korean side. It is your duty to cooperate with us. Tell us your identity, he adds further. Perhaps there has been some misunderstanding, but Yisu will have to do whatever is necessary. Then the investigating officer's face becomes completely devilish. He says while threatening Yisu, "Whatever I say will be effective. If I say that you are a communist, you cannot escape. You aren't exactly clean. No, just admit everything honestly, and everything will be all right." But despite all these threats, Yisu remains steadfast in his answer. That's when Section Chief Jang, who was in charge of the Special Intelligence Unit at that time, arrived there just in time. The narrator says that Section Chief Jang had heard that his man is here, so they came to bother them a little. The investigating officer gives Section Chief Jang a file, and with a smile says, "No problem at all. Investigating internal spies is our job." Section Chief Jang thinks that this man is repeatedly joking about internal spies. This child is like family to him, but the lieutenant colonel says it very strictly. "I say that this child is a spy." Section Chief Jang remains calm. He takes out a lighter, and while pretending to ask for forgiveness from the lieutenant colonel, he says, "Perhaps there's some mistake on your part." But the lieutenant colonel cuts his words short in the middle. He issues orders to him with arrogance. To avoid such misunderstandings in the future, you must explain everything clearly. The sound of the lighter igniting and extinguishing echoes. Section Chief Jang is silent. Not because he is soft-hearted or easily intimidated. He warns the lieutenant colonel, "Listen carefully to what I am saying. This child is like family to me. Spy or nothing else. Whatever you think, I am telling you again. This child is not a communist, understand?" After that, Ha Jin-young takes Baek Yi-soo from there. The lieutenant colonel stays angry because he couldn't show his strength. Therefore, he threatens to report Section Chief Jang's actions to his superiors. When he feels that his words have no effect, he runs outside, and he orders his soldiers to arrest both of them. But all his soldiers are just small fish that Section Chief Jang had already knocked unconscious. As soon as they come out, Section Chief Jang starts complaining. "You are making things very difficult for me. I've just come back, and my superior has already scolded me." Lee Sun-min says, while defending himself, "But there is no fault of mine. He is intentionally trapping me as a spy." Section Chief Jang says, smiling, "Well, who will believe you after seeing your appearance? You just need to say that you have surrendered. And everything will be fine," he adds. "We trust each other like a family. Look at the way you dress. If my daughter or you were a spy, I would kill you myself to avoid trouble." I was very grateful to Section Chief Jang, but he was also worried. Section Chief Jang asks, "Is the lieutenant colonel not your superior?" Baek Yi-soo anxiously asks his superior Section Chief Jang, "Is the lieutenant colonel not your superior? Is it right to behave in this way?" He was worried that Ha Jin-young might have trouble because of this, but Ha Jin-young assures him and says, "All is well, we are all under the country's orders." After this, both of them arrive there, where their companions, including Lee Sun-min, were already waiting. They were already waiting for their food. All the soldiers were in uniform and looked happy. But the narrator reveals an important thing. To tell the truth, when looking at Baek Yi-soo's clothes and hair, he did not seem different from a North Korean soldier. That's why he was being interrogated so strictly. We see a group photo. At that time, everyone was together. They were completing their mission with great joy. The scene returns to the present. Baek Yi-soo is sitting alone in a room. He is looking at those old pictures. And then the narrator reveals the most painful truth. And that place, which he called home, was destroyed by the very person on whom he relied the most. This was a clear indication pointed towards Section Chief Jang. Just then Ha Jin-young enters the room and reports. Suor is keeping an eye on what is happening. As instructed, he says, he needs to talk about what just happened. As soon as he hears this, Baek Yi-soo suddenly grabs his own collar. His face was full of disappointment and pain. Ha Jin-young expresses his regret upon seeing Baek Yi-soo's condition. He had misunderstood Lee Sean. He says something important. The Tisan Association cannot be handed over to you. You cannot become Baek Yi-soo. At this moment, Ha Jin-young realizes how much pain Baek Yi-soo is in, and putting the burden of being his brother on him is wrong. The scene turns into a restaurant. Police Chief Choi H-wan-ho is sitting like an ordinary man. He is ordering beef bone soup, whether he ate the food properly or not. But the narrator notes that he is the man who turned the corrupt police force into what it is today. Then an old man arrives there. This was the veteran police chief Choi Chan-ho. He teases police chief Choi H-wan-ho with a strange, ugly smile. Why was this place chosen? I know some good places. Police Chief Choi H-wan-ho signals him to stay silent. But the old man rudely orders the same soup. And he deliberately says it loudly. Without the inner parts, Section Chief Jang has to tell his daughter to hang up the phone. The old man asks about Section Chief Jang's daughter. But then he suddenly changes the subject and says that the General Assembly case has been successfully resolved. The old man tears a paper. And he says the table is already set. He says just eat one by one. He says his stomach is already full. But no news has come yet. He simply brushes off the General Assembly as a bunch of thugs. Then he asks Section Chief Jang, "Do you want to keep dragging this case forever like this?" While saying that, he looks at his hands. He says, "I was just mixing rice, but my saliva is already dripping. My hands are also stained with blood because of this case." But dealing with those people is not that easy. He believes it appears that way. Chief Jang is capable, but it still won't be easy. As soon as he hears this, Chief Jang's eyes become even sharper. The elder finally says, "After all, we are inexperienced in this matter. We have to deal with professionals." He tells Ryo. He asks, "Whom are you going to meet? Lee Sun-min or his subordinates?" The elder, instead of answering, just offers him food. He goes on to explain his plan. "Well, if you want a seat, you'll have to meet the director of the General Assembly directly. He is the police chief, Choi H-wan-ho." He steps back and asks, "Whom are you going to meet? Lee Sun-min or his underlings?" The elder, instead of answering, just offers him food and says, "Well, if you want a place on one side, you'll have to start handling the General Assembly," he explains further. "If you use this opportunity to give the congressman a taste of sweetness, everything will go smoothly."